speaking of that, this is a good, I guess, segue into the whole thing with the flood, right? Which is what we're seeing here today, which is that, God tells Noah, and there's a thing here that says Noah complied just as the Lord had commanded. So it's even this, right? The fact that, if you think about it, well, we think about it from the perspective of Noah with this whole thing, right? It's like, he's living there with his family and stuff. And I'm sure, the world wasn't in a great state at that point. So there was a lot of things to worry about and dangers. But then God tells him to just start building an ark. And not only that, then he puts him in that ark for, what it says like 40 days, but it's like, it's just like a long time. And they're there just in the middle of a storm as the whole world is just getting destroyed. And, he's related also to some of the people that are dying because they come from the same line as him, from the line of Adam. So he must have not have felt very good. And I'm sure he was praying to find land, and I'm sure he was praying for different things. And he must have also felt like, God is not answering, or things are not getting fixed. When are we going to find land, things like that. But, you just got to do what Noah does and what many other characters in the Bible do, which is to listen to God and do what God commands, which, we're so lucky in this day and age because we have the Gospels and we have the tradition of the Bible. Like, we have all these resources and the lives of the saints to look at, to remember what God tells us that we got to do. So if you focus on doing God's will and figuring out what is God's will for my life, then the problems start to resolve themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think as much, at least that's what helps me, of what are my issues? What is the flood in my life? How do I stop the flood? I have a flood in my life. Everything is getting flooded. Like, I have all this issue. I'm going to drown, right? So how do I solve that? How do I stop the flood? Or don't think of that. Think of, what does God want me to do in this flood? What does God want me to do? And then when you focus on that, when you work on the positive, on the creative side of things, then everything else, the flood comes and goes away, because the flood has a bigger purpose that you might not know, for you, for the people around you, and for the world itself. And you just got to get through it. And to get through it, you just got to trust in the Lord and do what he told you to do, and then you'll be fine.